Hello again, friends. Today we're looking at part three of the story of my life. In part one and two, I looked at, what happened to me at the age of 12, how it was that my dad died, and what I had to do during those years following. I then looked at what happened when I went to high school, the challenges that I faced, and how it was that I overcame. And so today we're looking at what happened after I'd left high school. Now, from a very early stage in high school, I recognized that I had to make the decisions about what I really wanted to do in life. It wasn't about what my mom wanted me to do. I had to learn to make those decisions for myself. And so after I left high school, I really wasn't sure, because going to school, I wanted to become a doctor. I liked the sciences, and I thought that being a doctor was the next best thing. And I guess it was what everybody else was saying, and I just went along with what I heard was being said and I thought was popular. However, when I finished high school, the reality was that going to, med school or, continuing that dream with that kind of dream wasn't going to really be at the time a possibility. And later on I found out that really and truly that really wasn't even for me. So I started working after I left high school, and I worked at a hospital for 3 years where I worked in the assessment department. But even though this was somewhat fulfilling, I was earning enough to you know live, buy food, a few items of clothes here and there. And it was far more than I was used to growing up. So it did seem as if, I'd actually actualized, and, I had gotten to a place where I could be comfortable. But I soon recognized that there was a greater potential that I had inside of me, and I couldn't remain comfortable just working in the assessment department at the hospital. So, the Lord led me along this path where, I applied for Teachers College and I was successful. But then what was even more amazing was that after applying for Teachers College, I somehow found out that scholarships were being offered for students who wanted to do science and math. And seeing that I loved science in high school, I really wanted to go and become a science teacher. And so I applied for the scholarship and I was successful again. I was told that for me to have the scholarship, I had to maintain a B average. And for me, I was like, yeah, I can do that. And for the 3 years of being at college, I was able to maintain my B average, and I never paid a dollar for school fee. That was a tremendous blessing, because if it had been that I had to pay my tuition, that would have been rather challenging, because even though I'd saved some money over the 3 years that I was working, it wouldn't have been enough for me to use for tuition and other resources to go to college. So I was really blessed in getting to go to college for 3 years, Teachers College, and I didn't have to pay a dime. Then I finished college, maintained my B and above average. Actually, I graduated as an honors student, so I did exceptionally well at college, actually, which was only because God was with me and continued to help me along the path. Shortly after I left college, I left the May, and I started sending out applications because, of course, now it was time to get a job as a teacher. And as soon as I sent out my applications, God was so good to me that 2 months after, I heard that, I had gotten a job at my alma mater. And that was again another blessing, to be able to go back to the school that I had once been as a student, where teachers who had taught me and knew of my circumstance was able to see me now come back as one of them. They were so proud of me, and I was so proud to have gone back and taught there. But that's not where the story ended. After having taught for just a year, I felt led that there's still more that you can do. And so I applied for a study leave. Now, after 1 year, for me to go in and already want to apply for study leave was almost unheard of. But of course, I applied, and again, I was successful. So I enrolled at the University of the West Indies to complete my first degree. And lo and behold, again, I heard that there were scholarships being offered. So again, of course, I applied for the scholarship. And do you believe it? I again got the scholarship and went to university not having paid a dime for my tuition. Now, for me to have been able to get a tertiary education and at the end of it, I didn't pay a dollar, has to be the blessings of Almighty God. And I continue to just like mellow, as it were, in the blessings of the Lord and how good He has been to me. He has really taken me from a mighty long way, and He, in every situation, has just opened doors for me to be able to get through. When I always come to those points in my life where I figured, oh my, this is an obstacle, how am I going to get over? Before I can begin to worry about it, God makes a way. And today I really want to somebody who is watching this to know that God can make a way for you too. Look where the Lord has brought me from. Look what He has done for me. He's no respecter of persons. Believe me, if He has done it for me, He will do it for you. So no matter where you're at, no matter the circumstances, no matter what challenges you are facing today, just know that God is able and He is a way maker. What He requires of you is to put your trust and your confidence in Him. He says that if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, then you're able to move mountain. I am sure the situation in your life is not a mountain. So imagine what you'll be able to do by exercising some faith in your Creator. Don't look at your problems. Tell your problems about the God who can solve them. And so I leave these few words with you. Be encouraged. Don't give up. God will make a way.